All right, everyone. Welcome back to the Purpose Driven Investor Podcast. I'm your host, Robert, and today is an episode that I've really been looking forward to. Brent Bowers is not only a wonderful and phenomenal real estate investor and educator, he's one of my close friends and actually a business partner in the Land Home League, which we'll talk about here in a minute. But his story is pretty powerful. Brent spent over 8 years as an Army officer, gone so often that he eventually realized he was missing the moments that mattered the most, time with his wife and time with his children. And that desire pushed him into real estate back in 2007, right, Brent?
Yes, sir.
And started with his first home and eventually discovered the strategy that completely changed his family's life, which is vacant land. And so today, Brent is CEO of Zek Buys Houses and also the Land Sharks, and spans across land investing, some homes, some rent-to-home spaces. And, I think what's really unique about him is not just his portfolio, but also his philosophy. And Brent, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I read a quote that you kind of live by, I think, is your influence is determined by how abundantly you place other people's interests first, which I think is a really powerful statement. I'd love to dig into that as we get going here. But today we're going to talk about not only land deals, but we're going to talk about purpose, family, and building freedom without losing what makes life more meaningful. So let's go ahead and jump in here, Brent, and let's talk about your backstory, your origin. How did you get here? Kind of where did it all start? And but before we do that, we really appreciate you joining me and joining on this podcast.
Man, I'm so honored to be here, Robert, and I'm even more honored to be your number 2 guest. I would prefer the number 1, but I at least got ahead of Chris. That's the main thing. So eat that, Chris, if you're listening to this. No, Chris is Robert's other business partner on his mobile home building business. But yeah, man, I absolutely love just knowing you. I met you in South Carolina several years ago. You're taller than you look on Zoom, that's for sure. But
does that help?
Yeah, it helps. But yeah, so where did I start? I started out in 2007. I bought that first rental property. I have always been into business. I've been reading Robert Kiyosaki books, yes, but also Donald Trump books, like when I was in high school and middle school, The Art of the Deal. Had a lawn service growing up. I bought that first rental property in 2007, 2008, and 2009, kind of kicked my butt, so I joined the military. I thought it'd be easier in the military. Took a break from real estate until about 2013, got back into buying rental properties and wholesaling houses. I found land in 2015, really because my back was against the wall. We had our first baby, me and my second wife. My first wife, we ended up divorcing on my second deployment. Or actually splitting up because I was just gone all the time. That's where the land business came in, and I really just needed to replace my income. But I love what we're doing today. It's land on steroids. Really, we're sharing God's love through affordable housing. I took that from you, Robert. I've been using it quite a bit. After I said it 3 times, it became mine. But no, I actually just closed on my first mobile home park about 6 months ago as well, thanks to you and Chris's guidance, and I'm stabilizing that right now. But yeah, it's been phenomenal. I've loved land since 2015, but it's almost like I got a new fire in putting these brand new mobile homes on land, and I've done it haphazardly. All these years. So now I finally got a system and a process, and I didn't come up with that. I was just kind of following through the motions, but you and Chris kind of developed that, and I've been enjoying coaching it with you.
That's awesome. Love that. And I think you got an unfair advantage because you started with land and how to find land at discounted values and discounted prices. So talk about kind of what made you discover land. How did you learn how to find land at such a discount?
Yeah, well, I had kind of cut my teeth on the rental business, and then I learned wholesaling houses through Wholesaling Inc. And that was kind of like, up and down for me. It was really hard while I was in the military. But I heard a podcast just like this, where a guy was talking about how he would go to all these tax auctions and drive all night long, coming back from them, and he'd buy a bunch of parcels of land and like double his money over the next coming weeks. And I was like, man, I'm not really making money in real estate. I'm holding these properties. I got rentals. I got terrible tenants. I'm having to evict people. If I ever leave the Army, I'll lose all these properties because these are not cash flowing properties. I'm going negative. Well, I heard this concept about land. I was like, man, no one else is talking about this. Why is no one else talking about this? Like, I'm from Okeechobee. There's land everywhere. There's cows everywhere. You got to be rich, a rancher, or a dairy farmer to own land in Okeechobee. And I just can't just sit on this stuff and wait for it to pay me. But the way this guy was talking about on the podcast, I was like, okay, there's something to this. So I immediately took action with it, and literally I bought the first parcel, $285, not buildable, garbage land, and sold it for $5,000. Well, I didn't even make $5,000 in a month in the military. So I almost felt like I hit the lottery doing these, and I just kept doing them over and over and over, and just perfecting the system and learning by a lot of trial and error, really.
That's great. Love that. You touched a little bit on it, but why is land better than houses from a lifestyle standpoint?
Oh, shoot. Well, I'll give you a perfect example. I actually just got 3 rental properties back almost at the same time. One was my house on 58 acres, 4,000 square foot house that was absolutely immaculate and beautiful. I used to live in it 4.5 years ago. I rented it out to business owners. These people own the daycare center that my children went to in Colorado. And then the man that was living in there also owned a security company. He's got like 40-something patrol cars in Colorado doing a security company. Well, you would think business owners would treat my property right? Mm-hmm. Absolutely freaking beyond destroyed. And I'm the stupid landlord that never sent anybody to inspect. I should be doing that quarterly. So it's my fault. It was my fault. But where I should have had this beautiful property come back to me, I'm literally putting over $50,000 just to get it back how it had. The second property, I just got squatters out by getting it condemned. And the third property, residential property, I just evicted a tenant that I've been trying to evict for 1 year. So me in the residential game don't go very well. So that's my experience with houses. And then I've also flipped about 38 houses as well. And every one is different. They all have a story to tell, and it's usually when you open the walls up. Like, are we going to find dead bodies? Are we going to find bones? Are we going to find, pine, 2x6s? And like, it's just always something. So when I thought I'd make a big profit on this house flip, sometimes I lost money. But land deals, you're profitable immediately because most of the time I sell the land before I even buy it. I have my buyer already lined up. Same thing with these land mobile home package deals. Like, we know where we're going to be at. Usually I'm too low. I'm making more on these than I thought I would.
Yeah.
And that never happened ever on a flip, right?
Yeah, that's true. And, in terms of, you talk about flips, every once in a while, I'll be talked into doing a flip.
Oh, don't ever do that again.
Typically a used mobile home flip because we're the mobile home kings. But, and the last one I did, he opened up the wall, and sure enough, you got to take all the sheetrock off. You got to take all the insulation. You have to take all the siding off. And so your $40,000 budget goes to $75,000 real quick.
Well, next time you want to do that, just pull your pants down and flick yourself in the nuts, and then you edit that part out.
Right. All right. Hey, so talk about, I think as we worked together the last several years, I've seen your heart for service and really helping other people. Can you talk about kind of what drives that, your service-based leadership and, helping others? And I'd love to hear more about that.
It just fires me up. I don't know where it comes from. I enjoy getting in front of a group. I enjoy getting on stage. I enjoy seeing people's lives change. I can tell you a bunch of things I don't enjoy. It's just like, accounting and taxes and spreadsheets and sitting behind a computer, but I just enjoy it. Like I feed off of it when someone does their first land deal, or when they when they send that first campaign. Like we had so we do 5 calls a week with Land Home League. You, Chris, I do 2 land, and then we also have Blake Allen doing one. Blake Arnold, sorry, doing one for land as well. So technically they get 5 calls, but I just had a guy on there yesterday, Jonathan Hill. He sent out 500 letters, and he created $150,000 in notes. 500 offers, 500 land offer letters. And if anybody wants a copy of the land offer letter, just go to thelandsharks.com/LOL. But he sent 500 offers out and did 7 deals that created about $150,000 in notes. That these notes are where people have to go to work every day to pay him once a month for this land that they bought through Jonathan. So that's kind of the stuff that just lights me up. And that's just a simple land deal. And then we're teaching we've got now 20-something people in Land Home League now. We're teaching them how to make $50K profit per deal. And we're going to create multi-millionaires from this.
Man, hearing you say that just made me think about yesterday. I was on the Land Home League call, and we had a good attendance yesterday, probably 20 people on the call.
Woo-hoo! I'll be darned.
Anyhow, a good group of people, and the people that show up are the people that are doing deals.
Yep.
But I went down the list at the end of the call, and I'll have to pull up the recording, but and said, "Hey, Bryson's on his 3rd deal. Dan's on his 15th deal.
Yeah, Daniel, holy cow.
Candace is on her 2nd deal." So just going through that list made me think, man, that is really powerful. We've only been doing this since December, really January.
So let's talk about these people too as well. And I don't want to give them away, but I just heard you mention a 24-year-old guy. Mm-hmm. Like 24 years old. Like he wasn't born with a silver spoon. And then another guy who's he's in the Army officer. And the lady, and I don't want to say their name, you guys can figure out who we're talking about, but she works for the county. Like she's looking to retire. Like we're going to have, that's what you asked me, what fires me up. Like we're going to provide retirement for a lady that's ready for a retire. 24-year-old kid, I don't even know what the heck that's going to turn into. By the time he's your age, Robert.
Imagine you started this when you were 23.
Yeah, by the time he's your age, he's going to be a multi-millionaire. Yeah. I'm still pretty young. And then, there's the Army officer, he was already doing well with land, but, it's like, yeah, man, it's just, you put the right tools in front of someone's hands, they're going to use it. And then you got the people that you can give them the world, you can do it for them, and they still won't get a result. Unfortunately, it seems like.
Yeah, 100%.
We try and turn those people away, but nothing against that. Like sometimes it's just the right timing for people.
Yeah, people get busy, and it clicks later maybe. But talk about coaching, because I know you've coached the Land Shark, and now you're coaching Land Home League together with us. How has coaching others impacted your investing career?
Oh, shoot, it's giving me more deals than what I can do. Every time I turn around, there's another deal, and I get overwhelmed, but it's, which I shouldn't. That's probably a terrible way to look at it, but it's helped my investing career. It's also given me other income opportunities, but and then the more I talk about this stuff, the more lending that people send my way and want to send my way. So it's really a multi-facet effect. We call it a force multiplier in the military.
Love that. Yeah, that's so true. All the opportunities that come about, and I think learning too, right? Imagine how much you've learned from other people that are doing the exact same thing that you taught them to do, but maybe doing it in a different way. Yeah,
absolutely. And I learn all the time, and always learning. Every time I get on one of the Land Home League call, I learned on the call yesterday, the support call, I get to hear what other people are doing, and I almost feel like it's like I'm cheating the system a little bit. It's like I'm a double agent. Well, tell me how that worked out for you. You just build the win. And here's what's cool is our community members, everyone wants to be a part of a tribe. You get them talking about their win and how they did that first deal. Before you know it, they're running the whole support call, answering questions, and they get to stand in the spotlight and get the light shine on them. Like that's, I think, one of the biggest keys to the Land Sharks community is it's not about me. It's just about us. I didn't create any of this stuff, like none of it. But we just we give people the tools, we answer the questions, we walk them along, we hold their hand, and now they're the hero. We're just like the Sherpa.
Love it. Love it. All right, let's talk a little bit about the Land Home League. You can tell everybody it was your idea, and you chased me down for years, and then finally talked me into it and said, if you're not going to do it, you'll partner with me and we'll do it together.
Actually, I wasn't trying to create the Land Home League. I was trying to get you guys to share with me how to buy 30-something plus mobile home parks, because like you guys have all these mobile home parks, and I'm like, for a couple of years, I saw y'all doing land deals, and you're part of the land Sharks, and I met you out there at the deal room. I forget what out there in Jenny Smith,
in Charleston. Yeah,
awesome event. And anyhow, I'm like, man, just teach me how to do this, and then we could also teach other people how to do it. And the way I remember it, you're like, well, let me tell you how we're getting all the money to buy these mobile home parks. And you said, well, we buy land, we buy it cheap, we get it at a discount, and we're plopping brand new mobile homes on it, and we're making at least $45,000 a pop on it. And I was like, well, what's the worst you've ever done on one? I think you said $25K, because the water line was on the other side of the street, so it cost you like $25K to run it underneath the street. Had to get a permit, close the street down. But I was like, oh, there's something to that. And I think we pulled the Land Sharks community, and we're like, hey, what would y'all rather learn? How to buy mobile home parks, or how to profit $45K on every land deal? And I think the mass majority was I was surprised. I thought everyone was going to be like, mobile home park. I thought they'd be like chanting in the street. They all wanted to know. I say it was about 80% or so. Well, how do we put brand new mobile homes on land and profit at least $45K on each one of them? A few people wanted to know about mobile home parks, and maybe I can still get you guys to do that course with me. I'm ramping up. I bought my first one thanks to y'all, but yeah, so that's kind of how I remember it beginning. Yeah. That's my side of the story.
I forgot about the mobile home parks and creating some education opportunities for. And
you started teaching me. You guys did. You did the first day.
Then we realized, hey, mobile home parks are great, but first you need some money to buy it. So let us show you how to get that money, right?
That's true. So we're working on the active income. The mobile home park is where you put that income. I mean, and here's why I bought one this year for 2025. I needed a massive tax deduction, and I'm going to do what's called a cost segregation and paid like almost no federal taxes this year because of that mobile home park. And it's also going to pay itself off in 12 years with the income it's making now if we never raise rents. So that's like the wealthy man's game. So right now we're teaching people how to do the active income with the land and the brand new mobile home package. Now we got to do the third course to show them how to make that wealth, that money they're making, make more babies, more money, more money, more money.
Yep. That's a good point. So what excites you most about the Land Home League?
I mean, just the fact that I got like 9 of these going, and we're looking at we just came under budget on 2 of them. Jack's properties. Jack's out in Tennessee.
Yeah.
He was under budget on both of them by $13,000.
That's huge.
12 something on one, 13 on the other. That never happens in a house flip, so that excites me. Number 2 is we just started Bryson's. We started developing his second lot. And just having, all these going and all these different locations. And I'm in the gym the other morning, and they're talking about affordable housing, needed, affordable housing, big. Like, it's been a big buzzword lately, workforce housing, affordable housing. And we're providing that. Like, once again, I feel like we're on a wave. In 2015, no one was talking about land investing. I feel like everyone's talking about it now. No one's talking about putting brand new mobile homes on land yet. We're at the front of that, and I think we have a huge advantage. And heck, these are selling in like a couple of weeks most of the time.
Right. Yep. That's the goal. 2 weeks, maybe 4 weeks max. As long as we price it right, get the right location, then we're golden. So let's talk. Let's talk a few more things here. We're going to go through some tactical takeaways, and then I'll go through a few lightning round questions with you. So let's talk tactical first. Tell me, how do I find my first land deal? Because that's the most important.
Yeah.
You know, as we talk about whether you're talking about land sharks and just flipping land, or land home deals. Finding land is the most important. Given your expertise, what are we going to do to find that first deal?
Yeah, it all definitely starts with the land. And this is not how I started out. This is how I kind of evolved into with all the land deals that I've done. But when I started out, I just went in my own backyard. Thank God there was some, inefficient land I was able to get for real cheap and sell it to someone for more. Because here's the thing. It could be not buildable. It could be not accessible. It could be garbage land. And people want to own American land. I don't care. There's never been a piece of land I couldn't sell. Now, how do I find it today? I want to see demand. How do I find demand? I want to know where the land's selling. I want to see where that land is selling. Once I know where that land is selling, I know that I can make offers to other landowners that own land in that area, and not all of them are going to accept my offer. It's really just a numbers game. It's like, how did I get my wife to go out with me? I just kept asking her. And then eventually she kept going out with me, and then I asked her to marry me. And it's just a progression. That's all we're doing with these landowners. We're making little bids of connection by making the offers. So once we find the area where there's land selling, I know that means there's demand if it's selling. Then eventually I make the offers, and I make enough offers, some are going to say yes. And those few yeses, I can either buy that land and flip it, or assign that contract where I wholesale that land. Sometimes we can buy the land and chop it up into smaller pieces. We call that a subdivide, and sell them individually. That's what Walmart does. They buy in massive bulk and they sell in individual items. That's what a subdivide really is. But that's how it works out. And it only takes like one of those a month to have a heck of a good living in this business. And if you want to take it even further, you sell it on seller financing. That's where it's like printing money. I feel like I have like 40 printing presses right now, every single month, spitting out interest payments.
That's huge. Love that. So how do I find a market? You talked about finding an area. Tell me how to find a market to target.
Yeah, there's this exclusive website. You got to be the top 1% of the world to access it, but you need to go to a website called redfin.com or Zillow.com. No, just kidding about 1%. You have to have an internet connection, and then you find where land is selling on Redfin or Zillow. Like that's how I'm finding it. Like nothing super rocket science here.
And I would add for land home packages, same exact process. Use Zillow. Look at the sold comps. For me, I want to sell for $250,000 plus, maybe $225,000 depending on the market. And I'm gonna look and see where are mobile homes or manufactured homes selling for that. Find that area, and then I'm gonna start marketing to it.
Yeah.
All right. So lots of people listening here, probably working full time. Tell me about how to do this while I'm working full time.
The best type of people to learn this, because I feel like out of all the people I've coached, so I was a coach in the military, and oh, by the way, correction, I was not an Army officer for 8.5 years. I was enlisted first. I was in total 8.5 years.
Oh, okay.
Just want to make sure everyone knows that. Not a big deal to some people, but could be to some others. All right, so W-2. So when I was in the military, I had to be on base by 6 a.m. That's when we started physical training. And I usually would leave about 7 p.m. I was able to start I knew I had 3 years left on my contract. And I was like, I'm not going to take anything from my land business for the next 3 years. I'm going to keep rinse, repeat, building that snowball. Well, I was able to do it before 6 a.m. if I had a lunch break that day and when we put the kids to bed that evening. So I had to burn the midnight oil from time to time. Now that's a season. You can't do that forever. Now I'm like 8.5 hours of sleep. I track it on my Oura ring. I don't get up at 4 a.m. anymore. That's ridiculous. I try and get my right amount of sleep, because like sleep deprivation is like worse than being drunk, which I did that for many, many years. I don't recommend that. There's easier ways to do it. There's like hiring like a virtual assistant for $5 an hour. to help you, to train you. Heck, throw them in the Land Home League course. That's what I recommend people. Have your team members show up to all the calls. Like, why am I training you? Like, I need to see your team. That was the biggest mistake I ever made. I go to all these events, Jennings Smith's events, Scale, Cody Hoffine, all these things. I took actually my team to UPW, Business Mastery, all that. Like, I finally started getting smart. Like, you need to bring your team with you. Have your team, let us train your team. But how does a W-2 person do this? I think they do it even better, because you got to be super, how do you say it? You got to be really hyper focused on how you spend your time. Like, there ain't no Netflix, there's no scrolling on Facebook. If you have that problem, you need to delete that app off of your phone. Like, there's no wasted time. Like, you don't have time to waste when you have a W-2 job and you're building your business. But I think it's the best, because you live off your W-2 job, you can take risk over here.
Yep. Love it. That's great advice. All right, 2 rapid fire questions for you. What's one habit that you believe unlocks success?
Doing something hard every day, like either working out or a cold plunge. Just getting uncomfortable every day, just a little bit uncomfortable every day. And it could be in your business too. Maybe you buy that first lot, or go ask that first person for money. Do something uncomfortable every day. There's a great book called Go for No. You can start implementing that.
Love it. All right, last question. The title of this podcast is The Purpose-Driven Investor. What does purpose-driven investing mean to you?
Purpose-driven, you just invest for the purpose. Like, my purpose is not, I didn't start any of this to get rich. Did it happen? I built a lot of wealth in real estate. With the properties we have, gaining equity, paying down mortgages, tenants doing that. But the purpose for all of it was just to have more time with my family, have more time to do the things I want. Like, I race 4-wheelers now. I'm at every event for my kids' school except for today. I'm actually saying this. I'm actually going to miss my son's 3rd soccer game today. But I've been at the last 2. But it's just like, it's being able to control that schedule rather than the schedule or someone else's schedule control you. That was my purpose. I didn't want anybody else to control or tell me what I'm going to do with my time.
That's great. Time is valuable. That's no question about it. All right. How do people get in touch with you?
Real simple. Go to thelandsharks.com. The Land Sharks. Sharks is plural because we're very powerful together. Thelandsharks.com. You can jump right on my calendar. Heck, maybe you want to talk about this Land Home League, what we're doing with these. I've got a lot of horror stories I can help you avoid as well. I only talked about the good stuff on this. We should do another episode of all the bloopers, all the mistakes. Yeah.
All right, Brent. Hey, appreciate you joining. Really thanks for the time, and all the information you shared was hugely valuable. And if you guys want to learn about the Land Sharks, or you want to learn about Land Home League, feel free to reach out to Brent or myself. We'd love to talk more about it. Thanks, Brent.
Let's go. Yes, sir. Thank you.